for both you and your family, and people that are mechanically inclined, and for people that are not mechanically inclined. I am going to show you that something that would have probably cost in the vicinity of about 7,000 pesos to repair in Tagbilaran. I repaired it using Stella that I should have thrown out the stainless steel can that's inside it. It's a good pot. It's a good stainless steel can for boiling water in over a barbecue, or even deep frying outside. So that was why I shroud. So let me show you the project that I'm working on now. Okay, so here we are. This is the muffler. Okay, now this muffler is from a piece of heavy equipment, an excavator. So what happened to this muffler is around this exhaust pipe, it cracked all the way around. So what I did was I took 3/4 inch rebar and wrapped it around here and then welded it to the superstructure inside the water distiller. I mean, inside the muffler. So I welded that on. Now, around here, in two different places, there were holes that big. Now, they had been closed up using this material, this asbestos material, 3 years ago. And they held those holes closed. But in the 3 years, the wounds or the open holes in the can, in the muffler can, had started to blow out from both sides of this asbestos material. So I took this off, and fortunately I had 60 feet of this as new stock, because I like to keep stock. And here it is right here. Here is some of the 60 feet that I wrapped around here. Now you'll see in a few minutes I'm going to start putting these stainless steel bands on. Temporarily I put 1, 2, 3 3¼ inch bands of asbestos underneath this water distiller shroud. This is an H2O water distiller shroud. And this is the can. That's the stainless steel can that the water gets distilled in. And there's the electric coil that heats up the water. You could still boil water in here. I still have the connections, but the blower for the, well, I'll show it to you. There's a condensing coil. Okay. There was a condensing coil that went on top of this. And there was a fan that went on top of that. This is what's left of the fan. Now, I tried to get a new fan blade, and a new motor, because the motor and the fan pretty much went at the same time. Plus, this was like 7 years old. So I couldn't get one, and I had to buy another water distiller. But I did use another part of the water distiller, which was the top. It was the part that went underneath the condensing coil. So this was actually under the condensing coil. And then this tube went through here, and that's where the distilled water came out. So instead of spending $150 to have this muffler repaired, I had this asbestos in stock, and I had the water distiller just laying around doing nothing. And I looked at the can, and I'm going, I need a piece of sheet metal to cover up the asbestos. And I looked around, and there was the water distiller and the can. In the end, this was really surprising. The stainless steel cap fits right inside the end of the muffler. Now, this muffler, somebody would say, oh, just buy a new muffler. That's not possible. Now, you could have it repaired for about $150. That is possible. But instead of spending $150, I just repaired it myself. Probably took, I'm going to have 10 hours into it when I'm done. So theoretically, I saved $150. But I didn't have to travel to the city with a tricycle for 400 pesos and 400 pesos back. So that saved me 20 bucks just on tricycle fees. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put another stainless steel band over here. And maybe I'm going to put one more on this end over here. If someone has a question, keep it to yourself. Not so interested. Okay. If someone is trolling me, you guys, of course, you know you're going to get removed. So, and the people that make fun of what I do, 2 thumbs up. Because if you're making fun of what I do, that means you can't do it. And that's the part I find interesting. Okay. Okay, I gotta move that can over into the picture. I can't get the camera to set where I want it to set. So I'll just move this whole process over a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna set up another band. Let's see if I could get this. Yeah, you could see that. Set up another band on the end here. Now these stainless steel bands, if you come into the Philippines and you plan on doing work here, these are stainless steel bands with stainless steel screws. They're all stainless, 100% stainless. What they sell here in the Philippines is magnetic stainless. This is non-magnetic stainless with a steel screw. And in 3 or 4 years, the steel screw rusts out so much that it just freezes up and breaks off when you take it apart. So if you come into the Philippines and you're going to do automotive work, or you plan on doing any kind of work that you need stainless steel bands, you can't buy all stainless steel bands in the Philippines. It's not possible. You can't buy them online. You can't go to the automotive store and order them. That's not possible. So you got to bring them with you. And I brought about, 200 or 300 of them with me. I have, actually I have a whole milk crate of them. Okay, so let me get one more band on here. Now you could do this with a screwdriver, or you could do it with a reed band tightener, or a rigid. There's a rigid thing, does the same thing. This is a ratchet. It's a ratchet forward, a ratchet backwards, and then it locks. We're not using the rigid or the reed to tighten the bands. We're going to just use a screw gun with a nut tightener the size of the stainless steel band nut for expedite it. Now you could use the stainless steel band tightening tool once you get a strain on this, because the drill, there's no way to know how much pressure you're putting on the band. So at that point, now that it's snug, you go by hand. With this tool, you can strip out these nuts easy. It's not hard at all. So while you're tightening the band, because it wasn't form fitted to the cylinder of the muffler, you have to tighten it down a little bit and then walk it down with a hammer. Understanding that underneath this metal is a compressible asbestos product. Now, it doesn't look compressible, but when you squeeze it down, it compresses this way, it stretches a little bit, it compresses a little bit, and it compresses onto the cylindrical object or even a square object that you can tighten it down to. I don't know if they even have that here in the Philippines. That stuff is from a tugboat. Oh, my dad had it on his tugboat back in the 70s. And I took a roll of it home. I said, Dad, because I had a mini bike. And there was like 4 rolls of it. Inside a tugboat is an engine room. Oh, very big, bigger than any. It's where the motor is. And there's a whole tool room with tools hanging on the wall and clamps. These clamps came from that same job, probably. I said to my dad, can I take some of that asbestos? Because I had a little rough mini bike that had a muffler leak. And I only needed like a foot of this stuff. He goes, take the whole roll. We'll order more. I was probably 15 or 16 years old. And I've had this ever since. This material. Now all this plastic straw was just what I used to hold the metal in place until I could tighten up, put the stainless steel bands on. So as you go, you got to walk this down. Now, what I'll do is, in a couple of weeks, I'll tighten it, I'll retighten it, I'll snug it up a little bit. Now I'm going to check the comments. I would ask you not to troll my channel. Okay, I will check the comments. If there's nothing important, I will go back to work and I'll finish this project. Big ups, muffler repair from Arthur from State Farm. Thank you, Arthur. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much for the ups. Okay. Yeah, you see all these people that have their messages deleted. These are all unaccomplished mechanics, let's call them. They've never been able to do anything in their life, mechanical or otherwise. So they come to my channel and try to ridicule me for my skill sets. So that's why you get eliminated. I don't even look at those comments. I don't care. My wrenches have permission to remove anything they want or anything that's problematic or anything that's troll-like. I don't have a lot of views because I do block people once they leave a stupid comment, and I don't care. Because if I take the time to read the thousands and thousands and thousands of troll comments, I wouldn't have time to do anything in my real life. Okay. All right, well, those two bands are on, and we'll clean up the snot off of here, and then I'm gonna tighten this one up. A little bit more by hand. Okay, and then we're going to take the snot off the head. Okay, that's a little cleaned up on that side. Now I have a different kind of banding, a metal band, but I don't think I'm going to use that. I'll show it to you. Okay, so for now, that piece is, that part of the muffler is done. I'm gonna check the comments again from some of my friends. I know at least one of my friends is here because the wrench is in gear. Check the comments in about 30 seconds. If someone would like to compliment me on my skill sets, that'd be nice, but if not, just watch and learn what you could do with minimalistic amount of tools in the Philippines, because you cannot buy what you need here in the Philippines. Now, would a muffler, would a welding shop be able to repair this? Yes, but about $150 was the price. And I didn't want to spend $150. Thank you, Scott, for explaining that to him. Field repair, muffler field repair. Jack is here. So if anybody needs information on how to do a roof or construction in Boston, Jack would be the person to talk to. Thanks for stopping by, Jack. Okay, so the next band I'm going to put on is going to go, there's two big holes. One big hole here. There's a frame right underneath here. It's on both sides of the inner frame. So I'm going to take two of these bands and put them together. As soon as I find two that are compatible with one another. I think, no, I think these two will work. No, not that one. I think I might have to use, I don't want to use that one for sure. That one is a solid band. No, some of the bands, this band here is for marine applications, high pressure hoses. It has no holes through the band itself. The screw part of the band, one has holes in it, the one on your left, and the one on your right has no holes. This is for high pressure saltwater hoses, typically muffler hoses on boats. When they don't have the holes in the bands, because what happens is you tighten these bands up with these holes and it stretches. This, without the holes in it, does not stretch. So they're used on high performance engines, mostly racing boats, but you could use it on anything. But mostly that's why some have holes in the screw holes, and some don't. Now I'm only going to put one band on here of stainless steel. I have my reasons. Well, maybe I'll put two. It really calls for three, but I don't want to use up the container. But I don't know when I'm going to get to that container to get them out. I don't think I'll need these bands for anything else, but for now, I think I'm just going to use this one band in the middle here. Then I have a galvanized band here that I took off the muffler from before. But some work needs to be done. I'm going to temporarily hold this together with a piece of cheap baling wire. Then I'll snug it up with, I'll put 2 or 3 pieces of baling wire on here and snug it up little by little. Those stainless steel bands I use, they're not replaceable. I can't get new ones. So I'm going to use them all up. I'll be using them for the hotel for sure. Okay, now that's just want to get the kinks out of it, and then I'm going to put a bolt through there. I just needed to see where the bolt would fall. Okay, now I know. Okay, there's another way to get that banding off of there quickly. The wire baling wire. You're going to do that with a 4.5-inch grinder, side grinder. And before I do that, I'm going to put a fan on. It's getting really hot out here. I'll be back in the foreground in a moment. Better get this fan set up. Okay, we got the fan set up, baby. It's probably 100 degrees in the sun. Try to bring it down to 80 with the fan. 85. Okay. Where's my headgear? Put the baling wire on it just so I could get the band straightened out. The band got bent up from being knocked around the last couple of days. So now two things. I gotta go get a drill bit that'll allow a 1/4 inch bolt to go through that band. And I need, of course, a 1/4 inch bolt that's long enough to go through there. So I'll be back in about 2 minutes, but I'll check the comments first. Hey, Spanky, I sent you out a video this morning, my friend. I hope you enjoyed it. Jack, you know what I forgot about plumbing, Jack? You will never learn, Jack. You know that. You know that, Jack. What I forgot about plumbing, you will never know. I'll be back in a minute. I need to get 2 wrenches. That's the one I want to use. one has full threads. The other one I had that had full threads had damaged threads. That's why it wouldn't go on. This one does not have damaged threads. Ugh. Okay, that's ready to have one more band on this side here. I'm going to check for my friends. I don't know who you are. Love. I gotta wash this. My glasses off. I can't see. Hold on a minute. Whew. The sweat is dripping off my eyes into my glasses. It's pretty hot today. Scott Del Fuego says, love people that think they can do so much better rebuilding an engine in a third world country without accessible shops, and without parts, having to make them from other objects. Thank you, Scott. There's not much left of the muffler to weld. Thanks, Spanky. There's nothing left of the outside can to weld. That's why I wrapped it with asbestos. I have no idea who you are, Charles Bronson. I have no idea who you are. If I don't know who you are, I just don't care. Do I talk to you on the phone? Are you a super chatter? Have you been a member of my Patreon account? You're a name too. I didn't remove your comment. Someone else did. And I don't really care that they removed your comment. If they thought it was not appropriate, they remove it. So I don't know who you are, number one. I don't know who you are. Number two, I don't care who you are. And number three, if you left an inappropriate comment and it got removed, that's your problem, not mine. I know exactly who removed this comment, and I don't care. Dennis Adam removed this comment. He even sent me a message that he removed Charles Bronson's comment. And I don't question anything that Dennis Adam does. Always good to see a working man and what he's doing. Thank you. DNC, too damn thin to weld. It is. There's just not enough material on this 16-inch plate sheet metal steel. You'd have to wrap a piece of 16-inch. I don't have the ability to bend a piece of 16-inch. And then I don't have the metal itself. And to do it in a shop in the city, it would cost about $150, maybe more. I don't know, and I don't care. This took one day to do the full repair, and I saved $150. So Charles Bronson, you got your moment in the sun. I've heard you complain on almost every live stream. Somebody removed my comment. Why don't you try throwing some super chat up on the board? This is a super chat channel, and then maybe somebody will pay attention to us. I didn't read it, and I don't care. I don't know who you are. You people just don't get it. If I don't know who you are personally, I don't care what you say or think. If it's not complimentary, Dennis didn't like the comment, they removed it. Dennis is a wrench. Does what he wants. I don't know why you think you're so important in the grand scheme of things. For me, not important. For you, oh, he removed my comment. 3 videos you're complaining about a comment that got removed a month ago. Didn't you have anything else to do with your life? That's a serious question. Okay. Negative comment, I'll just block you permanently. I don't even need to waste the time talking about you and your comment that got deleted 3 weeks ago. Why do you people believe you're so important? All right, I'll read the comments again. And then I think I'm done with this muffler for today, except for painting. Let's see. Oh my God. Man, that's amazing. Thank you. Sure, so a fat man. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Too damn thin to weld. Thank you very much, Salamat. I don't have a pot, but I have a. Thank you. Oh, I do have a pot. I have the pot from the water distiller. I have a water distiller pot right there. I knew it would come in handy for something. Wait, you know what I should do for the special effects? I should put it on my head and bang a pot just for DNC. Just for the comedic purposes of banging a pot on my head. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, DNC. I had a pot. Bang a pot. Make a lot. Wow, that was very nice. Thank you, DNC. Okay, let's read the comment. DNC says Fazio's suitcase must have been a 40-foot Connex. Looks like he brought a shop with him to the Philippines. I did. I brought my shop from America, and then I brought, quite a bit of actual plumbing supplies. I have 2 or 3. I have over 1,000 fittings of 3 different size PVC pipes. And the PVC pipe that I have the fittings for will fit the PVC pipe in the Philippines. I also brought 3 gallons of PVC pipe glue, the gray, because that's probably what I'm going to be doing first after I get the first footings in, the plumbing, the ground plumbing. And I brought all the, I brought over 15,000 nails for the nail gun, 30,000 nails for the molding nail guns. So I have like 45,000 nails from an inch and a quarter brad up to 3.5 inch Bostitch nails. I brought a lot of stuff. I brought 35,000 pound tugger hoists to do a specific job that I haven't gotten to yet. I bought like 12 drills of different sizes, all 110, all dating back into the 80s, up to a 3/4 inch drill, reversible. I brought hundreds of saw blades to cut through anything. Like, in other words, if I have, I have like 6 skill saws. There's going to be a saw set up with like a 40 tooth or 24 tooth carbide tip that'll go through nails, cement board, things like that. That'll be one saw. Of course, I have the metal 14-inch rebar and pipe cutting tool. I have the rebar bender also. I brought hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of bolts and nuts and supplies like this. These bolts are just one tray of 60 trays. This is just one of 60 trays of bolts, from 1/16 aircraft bolts up to 3/8 number 8 hardened steel bolts. Then I bought 150 pounds of 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch galvanized bolts that's going to be used to put the railings to the concrete and other things. And stainless steel welding rod, 40 pounds of bronze brazing rod, 40 pounds of brazing rod, not 40 pieces, 40 pounds of it. Because you can't buy a quality brazing rod here, and I use brazing rod all the time. You don't see it, but I use it. Okay, so let me go back. He did bring a container, just for fun, not to build a hotel. Yes, that muffler is off the excavator. It had a hole in it when I bought it. I repaired it with this asbestos banding that I got off a tugboat, my father's tugboat, back in 1970, 71. I was about 15. I had a mini bike. It had a hole in the muffler. I said to my dad, I need a piece of that asbestos that they wrapped the muffler on the tugboat with. He goes, take a roll. So the roll actually had 100 foot in roll, but I think I have like 12 or 13 feet left, maybe 18 feet. But that's the last of this. So yeah, it's from the excavator, and it got the excavator. That muffler is 40 years old. The excavator is 44 years old, and a lot of stuff while I had time. And I'm just doing. I took the water pump. I wanted to check the bearing in the water pump. That's still good. And but it was, if I show you the pipe that comes out of the water pump, the part that goes to the water jacket manifold on the excavator, the water pump is aluminum. It's not marine aluminum, but it's aluminum. And the pipe actually wore out. It oxidized from the inside out and from the outside in, and it was leaking from the hose. So what I did was I took it apart. Well, I could show it to you if you want to wait a minute. I'll show you how I repair it. My next repair. Okay, so I'm back with the parts that I'll show you how the repairs are going to be made, why I took everything apart. This is the water pump. Now, this water pump has a hole in it. It has a couple of pin clustered holes right here. 3 holes that are the size of a thickness of a safety pin. So I polished it inside and out, and I painted over it. Then when I put the hose back on, I'll use Boat Life, the same product that they use on a boat, and slip the hose back all the way to the bottom here and Boat Life it in place. It won't ever oxidize from the outside, but the inside will get progressively worse, but it'll last a few years. Now this piece is altogether different. This piece is a water jacket and to the heater, which is no longer usable, but this is garbage. In the real world, this would be garbage. There's 3 holes here. 1, 2, 3. And it's very thin all the way around this whole perimeter. But what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to take this pipe, put the Boat Life in here with plastic straw or nylon cord, put the Boat Life on, then nylon cord till it takes up the difference in the space for the pipe, which is just 1 layer, and then put the Boat Life in the pipe and on top of the cord and slip this over and bring it right back, because the hose only goes this far. You can't buy another hose for it. It's some weird size long with a double twist hose. So now with this hole there, fill a Boat Life and then a cord on top of that, and this over here like that. That's all you need. And then I'll secure this to here with, well, I'll do it the way I want to do it. But so when I put this on here, then the hose that comes from the engine, I'm going to cut this down to the right length, which would be, I'm going to extend it. Because right now, the hose was the wrong hose to begin with. So the hose was being pulled this way, probably 1 inch out of alignment, out of its natural fold. So when I put this pipe over that, I'll leave 1.5 inches on. This was even too big for this. They crushed it down. They crushed the hose down. But the hose is actually this size of the pipe. So with the Boat Life and the straw, or the nylon cord and this like that, and then the new and the old hose slips right over here, there won't be any compression on the hose, and it'll work just fine. And I have to do that in 2 places, this side and this side, because this one has nothing left on the inside either. So there'll be 2 extensions, and both hoses fit over the pipe. It's I got the water pump off, I have the alternator off. I pulled off the starter, cleaned it up, not needed maintenance, but preventive maintenance on the starter. I took the water jacket off, because the water jacket to the engine is also aluminum, and it was oxidized. The pipe that goes, this goes to the water jacket, and the water jacket pipe was also oxidized to where there was nothing left. Can't buy a water jacket, can't buy a water pump. So I repair it. So the bearing in the water pump will probably last, it's one of those things, there's a minimal amount of play. It could last a month or 10 years. Depends on, if you run out of water, it ain't gonna last a long time. But the engine, I did a radiator repair as well. I polished everything up and reinvented the radiator so that I wouldn't have any problems with it in the future. So I'll read the comments and then I'm gonna go back to work. Attention, this is a super chat channel. Yeah, no offense to that guy, Charles Bronson. I have no idea who he is. And I don't really care. If people want to leave positive comments, that's fine. I don't know what his comment was, But Dennis Adam, who was my trusted and real-time friend in real life, decided that Charles Brown's comment was not appropriate for that video on that day. And I've heard about it for 3 weeks, or at least 3 different live streams. Charles, have a great day. Okay, so I did get this strap to where it would compress. Let me turn this over like that. Okay, we did get that strap. Let me tighten that up. Then I'm going to start putting this stuff away. I've been out here since about 8:30 this morning. I'm not going to put all the pressure on this strap just yet because the reverse on this is not working. Oh, something fall down. And I got it. Much. Salamat. I appreciate that. And if you have any more questions, always feel free. In fact, because you did that, I'll send you the some of the videos that I've made of other repairs that I've done that I didn't do live stream for one reason or another. Not embarrassed about it, that's for sure, but okay, well, we're good to go now. This muffler is done. I'm going to clean up the tools, and then I'm going to do something. I'm going to thin out this paint 30% and put it under, around, on, above, below, and into the strap. So first things first. First we put the tools over here. Man, is it hot out here today. Really, really stupid hot in the sun. I don't know what the temperature is, but in the sun beating off this wall here, it's got to be 125 degrees. If not more. Okay, this is the last time I'm going to have to adjust that strap. No more, otherwise I'll break the strap and I'll be back at square one with that strap. Okay, so this goes there. I didn't use this bending wire. I'm not going to use the drill anymore, or the hammer, or the die grinder. So the first thing I'm going to do, throw this in that box there, take the die grinder off the bench. I'm going to turn this camera around so that we get a better angle on there. I'll scoot the muffler back in place after I get these tools away. Right here, out of the way. This goes into storage. This is a tool. That's a tool. This is a tool. I'll leave this out for last. This is my welding slag remover. This is a knife. We won't be using that anymore. And these three muffler parts, they do in fact go, because I took them out of a can, anything else. So I can bring the bolts back in and the parts for the water pump, even though that's one of my next projects. It's not today's project. I don't have boat life for that. Just wet myself down. I feel much better. I wet myself down already twice today. Twice. And it dried off 100% twice. The next thing I'm going to do is paint the muffler. I painted it once from the outside already. Put the asbestos band around it so that the paint and I put sand on the first coat of paint. So this sand in the paint would lock into the asbestos band, and the band wouldn't want to slip around from vibration or whatever. Okay, so I need a piece of baling wire, or a piece of straw. I'll get a piece of straw. Now I have a whole milk crate of these bands, assorted sizes, all stainless. That's invaluable here in the Philippines. Just not gonna, you're not gonna find stainless steel bands with stainless steel nuts, bolts. You're not gonna find it in the Philippines. I've never found an all stainless steel band product. Never. Not online, not at Lazada, not at any store. And every store, there's another thing you should remember when you're in the Philippines. When you ask for an all stainless steel band, they give you an all stainless steel band with a ferrous nut. They don't tell you that the nut is going to rust out in a few years, especially if you're working on something near the ocean. Those stainless steel nuts rust out in 3 years. On a marine engine inside the motor package with the salt water and salt air, they last less than 3 years. So, and could they sell you a stainless steel band with a stainless steel nut? Of course. Would cost less than a peso more, but they won't. They will not. They will not do that. Okay. Now, if you should know that this metal can was a paint can. I cleaned it out, of course, and then I painted it with an oil-based paint, and I used some old baling wire to make a handle out of it. And because if you have to buy a bucket here, the buckets are $8. They're 400 pesos for a plastic bucket. So if you do buy oil, buy it in 18-liter buckets. And then you save yourself $8 for a bucket if you need a bucket. And I got to tell you something. No sooner do you take that bucket of oil out to put it in a machine when I go on a job site, do they ask you for the empty bucket. Before the oil's out of the bucket, they're already in line asking you for the bucket, for the empty bucket. No joke, my friends. Life is hard here in the Philippines. Anything that they can get at a discount, happy to ask you for it. Okay, it's time to paint something. Let me check the comments. DNC, thank you again. Yeah, I wet my shirt down, but that's really not enough. Don't troll me, Charles Bronson, and you're trolling me. I'm about ready to remove you permanently, and I mean permanently. That's why you got taken off the channel, no doubt, the first time. You want to be a troll? You're going to get canned like a troll. And I mean canned like a troll. I gotta go get some turpentine. Now I know why you got shit canned, Charles Bronson. Now I know why Charles Bronson got shit canned. Now I know why. He thinks he's smart. So I'm going to fix that right now. So here is my turpentine. Bye-bye, Charles Bronson. Go start a new channel. There you go. I was about ready to take care of that myself. Small job from one of my good wrenches. Thank you. Yeah, he thinks he's smart. You know who else thinks he's smart too, right? Probably one and the same. Okay, so yeah, that's why Dennis canned you. Talking about cans, I have this can of paint right here. Now, it's already thinned out about, well, I'd say it's thinned out 15% already. So, I'm going to just add a little bit more. Thinner. I'm going to thin it out 30%. About. Roughly. Approximately. Now, when you buy a can of turpentine, do not open up, don't pull this plug out of the top, because it has a tendency to evaporate. I just put a little teeny hole in it, and I squeeze some turpentine out as I need it. Charles Bronson is a troll trying to get me into trouble. Thank you for removing Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson thinks he's smarter than me and all my wrenches. And now I know why Dennis canned you, Charles Bronson. Now I know. Not that I care. Charles Bronson was setting me up for the fall. Setting me up for the big fall. Thank you, whoever removed him. I can't see that far. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I was about ready to remove him anyway, because I don't like the idea that somebody has to come back 3 weeks in a row and cry that one of his comments got removed. Who did that? Who cares who removed your comment, Charles Bronson? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you, Charles? Who are you that anybody should even care, Charles Bronson? You are nobody. Nobody cares about Charles Bronson. Nobody should care about Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson is not important on my channel. He was trolling to get me in trouble, and he was found out to be a rat. That Charles Bronson thinks he is smarter. So, and I even looked up your channel. So you have no videos, you have no content. You don't even deserve to have your questions answered. Because on my channel, unless somebody is saying something positive, and typically they have to have content on their channel, typically I don't respond to them. Because I don't respond to a name on a computer screen. What's the point? Now DNC, I know DNC, I know his real name, I know who he is, and we've been friends for years. And DNC, if you're still here, leave a comment. I want to tell you something. Please, DNC, if you're still here, leave a comment. Or I'll just send it to you in an email if you're not here. I want to thank you for something that you did. And thank you for being my friend enough to do what you did. You know what I'm talking about if you're here. I appreciate that greatly. We're not talking about Super Chat now. We're talking about something DNC went way out of his way to help benefit me. And it was beneficial. So I'll check the comments in a few minutes. And if you have to leave, I'll just send it to you in an email with some other stuff that I have. But you know what I'm talking about. Oh, see, I have to do the paint. That's why I said I'm not going to work on the water pump today. After I use this paint, I don't do anything. I'm going to go take a bath, a bucket bath, and I'm going to veg out. Because after you work with this paint in the sun and the turpentine, it's like drinking a half a quart of vodka or tequila or whatever. It gets you inebriated. But through chemicals, through the turpentine itself. Basically, even if I was just using this paint, if I drove, and I don't want a car, nor do I want to drive in the Philippines, but if I did, after I used this paint with the turpentine, I would not get in a car for the rest of the day. That's how long the chemical high from turpentine and oil-based enamel paint is going to influence your reflexes and your ability to your cognizant ability. People don't think so, but it does. Not a good thing. All right, I'm going to check to see if DNC is still here. Can't see. Yeah, I have, for the person that said get a large umbrella, I have a 20-foot wide by 44-foot long sunscreen that I'm getting ready to unreel once I start working again. I have a high grade for they grow tomato plants and lettuce and stuff like that in Florida. It's a high grade sunscreen. It blocks 40% of the sun. I have that. I also have an extra white hat that's sitting on my counter. out. I didn't think I was going to be out here this long. I wasn't going to do the live stream here in this place with this product. But then when I said I'm going to go live, then I have to do it on this bench because that's where the sun is. Yeah, Charles Bronson tried to entrap me. Very nice, Charles Bronson. Got to give you an A for effort, but also an F for trying. Now you're blocked forever, permanently, gone. I don't know why you people try to do that. Never gonna happen. Charles Bronson. For 3 freaking live streams. 3 live streams I gotta get. Oh, he blocked me. He took my comment down like a little kid. Who else acts like a child on YouTube? Think about who Charles Bronson could really be. Think about the people, one guy in particular that acts like a child day after day after day after day, crying about one thing or another. Just crying about, oh, you removed my comment. What do you care? What do you care? It's YouTube. Don't worry about it. You make another name. Come back tomorrow. Try again. Okay, beat DeFazio at his own game. Okay, now I think I'm good to go here. The reason I paint everything white is so that if there is a leak, an exhaust leak or an oil leak, it shows right up, shows right away. If the gasket is blown, it'll show you that the gasket is blown. If the bolts are not tight enough, it'll show you that the bolts on the intake or exhaust manifolds are not tight enough. White lets you see an oil leak very easily or an exhaust leak. So I paint everything white. Now I know it's going to burn off and turn to a dark yellow or brown. I know that. And I don't care. But it also shows you if there's a hole in the manifold itself. It'll show you right away. Because you could have a hole in the bottom of the manifold and not know it for a very long time. Not that it matters, but it matters to me. Oh yeah, there's enough chemicals in my from this turpentine and the paint right now. I would never ever try to do anything with tools, chainsaw, drill, nothing. No mechanical devices will I use for the rest of the day. And what I will do is just go in the house. I'll take a nice bucket bath and then relax. This stuff monkeys me up, and I have a 20-inch fan blowing right at my back, plus winds coming in off the ocean, and it's still from foiling around me, it still monkeyed me up properly. Which is what Charles Bronson was trying to do. Monkey me up properly with legal issues. Let me check the comments one more time, and that's it for today. Oh my God. The Bantayan Brawler. Hello, my friend. Thank you again. Breakfast. We almost went out for breakfast this morning. Almost. But we had different things to do. The Bantayan Brawler, thank you very much. You and I'll give you a call soon. I've actually been pretty busy. Not too busy, but I've been putting in long days in hot weather, and I really don't. At the end of the day, I veg out. In the morning, I try to get 2 or 3 phone calls a day, and I've been remiss for calling you up. I apologize, Bantayan Brawler. I'll call you up and update you, but three days this week I had to leave the house early to go do something that needed to get done, and that takes up 6 hours of my day. All 3 of those. I had to go to the hospital to my prescription and a checkup for my leg, and that's 5 hours every time I go. You have to go to the hospital to make an appointment, and then that takes an hour and a half to get to the city to go to the hospital to make an appointment, and then when you have the appointment, you got to get there an hour early, and it's usually a 2 or 3 hour wait. Well, that was a big chunk of my week this week. And also, I've been trying to get parts for this machine. I tried to get the water pump, not possible. I tried to get the pipes to the water pump and hoses, not possible. So that's 2 hours in the supply store for them looking for a hose. They won't take like the model number of the hose. Bantayan Brawler knows what I'm talking about. Every part has a number. Every part. 4313. That's a book. Bantayan Brawler knows what that book is. And 431312 and so on and so forth. Every part from every machine that's ever been built has a part number. So even with I bought a shop manual for this machine just so that I could easily order the parts. And in the shop manual, it tells you how to remove the water pump and how to remove the water jacket, but it doesn't give you any parts. And nobody here, no parts store, no shop, has a parts manual in their database. They tell you to bring the part in, put it on a counter, and then you wait 1 hour or 1.5 hours for them to look through parts that are hanging on a wall or in a box or in a bin or on a shelf. And then they come back an hour and a half later and say, sorry, we don't have the part. Bantayan Brawler, imagine if your industry where you work like that. Imagine that, how that would be. It's amazing. I, 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 I am dumbfounded every time I hear somebody say, "Sir, bring the part in," or "Go to Cebu." Go to Cebu and bring the part to Cebu. They may have it there. It just dumbfounds me. It's amazing. There's no way to explain how stupid it sounds that they're explaining to me to just take that part, go to the boat terminal, spend 4 hours to get to Cebu, then get a cab and then go look for a part where you don't know where to go. And does the parts store tell you like a lead where to go for the part? No. They just tell you to go to Cebu and look for the part. That's exactly word for word what they tell you too. I'm not lying about that. They just tell you to go to Cebu and look for the part. Put it on, they'll tell you the second counter where to go. Ha! That's amazing. So, let me, here's this fan. That fan does not cool me off enough at all, nor did it blow the smell of the turpentine and the paint away from me at all. It's an amazing thing. That stuff is just, I am so monkeyed up right now. I felt like I drank a half a bottle of vodka. Oh. Between that and the sun, I'm done for the day. So I'm going to go find a shady spot. I just wanted to put this turpentine back in the house. I got to do something with that tomorrow. I'm going to go find a shady spot. Whew. There really is no shady spot right now. High noon. Hard to find shade. Oh. Guapo. Oh. This is about as shady as it's gonna get. Oh. Oh. That's better. Okay. Now, I need a... Oh, man. Hold on. I gotta wash off these glasses with my shirt a little bit. Whew. That's much better. Right, Bentai and Brawley, you're right. Yeah, the whole industry would just be turned off. And think about how many parts there are in that industry. Billions and billions and billions of parts, and everyone has to be right for every piece of machinery that... Red Horse Adventure, hey buddy. Hello, I've been remiss to call you as well. I've been so busy. You know what? I'll get with you two men this week. I see you on Red Horse Adventure. I see you on Facebook at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, your time. Is it okay to call you at that time? Because I wake up around 1 o'clock and I stay up for an hour or so to do some stuff that I have to do in America. Yeah, Bentai Brawler. The industry would just shut down. There'd be nothing. There would be nothing. There would be nothing you could do. You can't make that stuff up. We know that. Yeah. So, and I will tell you both, or all the people that are watching, I have scanned looking for a parts shop manual. I probably scanned through 700 plus pages of parts manuals for Mitsubishi. And there was a book for this engine located in California in a library that's not available in PDF format. But I don't know that it was the right book because I eventually asked Scott Del Fuego to buy a shop manual, like on the 701 page. I was looking at Isuzu Motor Parts in China because that's what popped up on my screen. And on the right side, in the right column, there was the book for this engine, 6DS70-C engine. So I wasn't even. It wasn't even on the right page. It wasn't even on the right motor manufacturing page. But Scott bought it. It was. Then when I wanted to buy it on eBay, they would not ship it to the Philippines. It said this supplier needs more information to ship it to the Philippines, something like that. So I sent them a note. Is this book the shop manual with the parts in it? And then no answer. 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, 7 days. So I tried to buy the book and ship it to the Philippines on several different occasions. No, it won't ship to the Philippines. So Scott bought it for me. As it turns out, it's a shop manual, but it only has instructions how to take the water pump off. I mean, I know how to take the water pump off. It's a series of bolts, how to adjust the alternator, probably, stuff like that. It's a shop manual for maintenance, but not parts. Well, I need parts. I need parts by part numbers. I want to order parts like I wanted to order a water pump because the water pump, I'm afraid if I take the water pump bearing apart, it doesn't leak now that I know of. But I'm afraid if I take it apart and I bring it to the city, I won't be able to get that bearing. Now, if I had a part number, I could take the part number to the city and maybe they'd be able to transfer the part number to something they have in stock because it's just a simple bearing. But without that part number, I don't want to take the bearing out. I can take the nut off the front of the water pump. Everything goes into the water pump, not out. You press the shaft down into the water pump. I can do that with my vise, or I could bring it to a machine shop. But I would also like to know that I could get the bearing to put it back together, because otherwise I take it apart, 2 hours, bring it to the city, 3-4 hours looking for a bearing and no bearing, and then I have to put it back together. That's not good. It's not good business. Bad business. That's what it's like living here, man. There's the trouble to get the rebar bender. Remember the parts manual for the rebar bender? Never got that. The guy lied. The service manual for the rebar bender? Never got that. There is none. He said, well, the shipper stole your books. Why would the shipper steal my books? Why would the shipper open up a bubble wrap, a saran wrap box, 4 foot by 4 foot, then take a sheet of plywood off, then open up the rebar bender, the top to the rebar bender? How did he know the books were in there? Take my books and then put everything back together. Why would he do that? He didn't do it. He wouldn't do it. No shipper would do it. The man who promised me the books that sold me the rebar bender just didn't have the books, but he said, you give me the money, I'll send you the books, and then the rebar bender will come after that. So he basically just defrauded me for thinking I was going to get the books. And that's what it's like living in the Philippines. If you have work done, don't pay the people for the work until the work is done, okay? When you get on a jeepney, it's only 50 pesos. But if the jeepney breaks down, typically you won't get your money back. So you pay the jeepney driver when you get off the jeepney. I don't know why you wouldn't get your money back, but I don't even ask. But and I've had happen twice. So they once the drive shaft fell off, that what a it locked up on something in the street and picked the whole jeepney up off the ground. And once the front wheel fell off, and just I was sitting in the front seat, and it just rolled over down the bridge. So when I got out, I was in a big hurry, and I just left. But they weren't giving back the money. They were gonna somehow he was gonna fix that wheel that fell off. I had no idea, so I just left. Anyway, don't pay people in the Philippines till they're done with the job. That's the best. That's the best. Now, what else did I do? I paid somebody up front. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. Try to get the person that's going to do the work to do the work before you pay them. Just try to, that's the best. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Red Horse, it looks like it's going to rain here. I'm going to say goodbye and thank you to the Bantayan Brawler. If you're up, I could call you back right now, Bantayan Brawler. You have different hours than everybody else. And Red Horse, if Bantayan Brawler is not there, I want to talk to you about a couple of things as well. Just stuff that's been going on in general. That thing that you helped me with, it's a very very basic. It's not the real McCoy. But thanks for trying. And say goodbye. I'm Ping Permy from the Philippines. And remember, I'm Ping Permy, of course, means take care always. I'm up and available. Okay. I'm gonna call the Bantayan Brawler first, and then I'm gonna call you because he was on first. Maybe later. I'm gonna call Red Horse Adventures first. Thank you, Bantayan Brawler. Okay, I'm Ping. Gotta go. I really, my head is buzzing from those chemicals. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye for now. Thanks so much for the super chat as well. Bye-bye for now. I'm Ping Permy from the Philippines, baby. That's right.